That's a tough life as well. One can certainly experience a privileged tough life and an unprivileged tough life, but Charles Bronson's was certainly not a wealthy one by any means. Welcome to the channel. Charles Bronson was not the type of glamorous hero with a radiant smile or a sharp suit. Instead, he was the man with a weathered face, piercing eyes, and a quiet yet powerful presence on screen. They didn't need many words to convey emotion. Just a single glance was enough to reveal their pain, anger, and burning determination. However, what few people knew was that behind that tough and stoic exterior, Bronson's life was marked by hidden pains, hardships, and curious about the real story behind their journey. Make sure to watch this video until the end, where we will inform you. Episode number 1. It will take the viewer on a journey through their struggles in the poverty-stricken youth, their soaring success on the big screen, and the secrets they kept hidden throughout their life. Born Charles Denis Buczynski on November 3, 1921, Charles was the 11th of 15 children in a large family. Their parents, Walteris Buczynski and Mary Walensky, were Lithuanian immigrants who moved to the United States seeking a better life. They settled in the coal mining region of Johnstown, Pennsylvania, where Walteris worked as a miner. To better assimilate into American society, Walteris changed his name to Walter Binsky, hoping that adopting a more American name would bring better fortune to the family. However, life was never easy for the Bronson family. They lived in a cramped home and struggled to make ends meet. Young Charles faced a childhood filled with poverty and hardship. Language posed a significant barrier, as they didn't speak a word of English when they started school, having only known Lithuanian at home. Even after learning English, their heavy accent made others think they were from another country, rather than an American citizen. Remarkably, Charles was multilingual, speaking 4 languages: English, Lithuanian, Russian, and Greek. However, the language challenges were only a small part of the hardships Charles faced. In a 1973 interview, they shared that they weren't sure whether to love or hate their father Walteris. Charles rarely had the chance to be close to him, and every time Walteris came home, they would hide out of fear. When Charles turned 10, their father passed away due to work health issues from the coal mines, leaving the family in even deeper poverty. After their father's death, young Charles took on the responsibility of helping to support the family, following in his father's footsteps and working in the coal mines, despite being far too young for such grueling work. They earned just $1 for every ton of coal extracted. The tough and demanding work left a lasting mark on their memory. Charles would volunteer for double shifts to earn an extra dollar, taking on the most dangerous tasks a child could be assigned. They worked in dark, cramped mines, battling headaches, claustrophobia, and the constant fear of confined spaces, phobias that Bronson would carry with them for the rest of their life. The Bronson family was so poor that they couldn't afford milk for the younger children. Instead, Charles's mother gave them cold tea as a substitute. Often, Charles went hungry, sometimes wearing their sister's dresses to school due to a lack of clothes, enduring teasing from classmates. Despite the ridicule, Bronson remained determined in their studies and became the first child in their family to graduate from high school, a significant achievement for a young coal miner. The long days in the mines forged a tough and resilient individual, and from this poor background, with seemingly no prospects, Charles overcame adversity and carried with them valuable lessons in resilience and perseverance. These painful experiences became the foundation for the man who would later become a symbol of strength and determination on the Hollywood screen. In 1943, at the age of 22, Charles left the coal mines after 12 years of hard labor to join the U.S. Air Force during World War II. They were assigned to the 76th Flexible Gunnery Squadron and later became a gunner on a Boeing B-29 Superfortress in the 61st Bombardment Squadron stationed in Guam. During one of their flights, they were injured and awarded the Purple Heart. This real combat experience later made Charles one of the most battle-hardened actors in war films. After the war, they returned home and took on various jobs to make ends meet, but it wasn't until they joined a theater group in Philadelphia that they found a new direction in life. Together with their friend Jack Klugman, a stage actor, they rented an apartment in New York to pursue their passion for the arts. In 1950, after getting married, Charles moved to Hollywood and began studying acting. Initially, they only landed small roles, appearing alongside stars like Roy Rogers, Red Skelton, and Lee Marvin. Thanks to director Andre de Toth, Charles began to land more substantial roles in films such as House of Wax, Riding Shotgun, Miss Sadie Thompson, and most notably, Crime Wave. However, their Eastern European-sounding surname, Buczynski, proved to be a hindrance in Hollywood. Following the advice of their agent, they changed their name to Charles Bronson, a name that would become synonymous with toughness in cinematic history. It wasn't until 1958 that Charles landed their first leading role, playing Detective Mike Kovac in the TV series Man with a Camera. The film industry began to take notice, offering them roles in major films like The Magnificent Seven and The Great Escape, which marked a major turning point in their career. Charles continued to build their career both in Hollywood and Europe, achieving recognition in films like Once Upon a Time in the West and The Dirty Dozen. By 1973, at the age of 52, they became one of the highest-paid actors in the world, earning $1 million per film. It was during this time that they began starring in the Death Wish series, which spanned 5 films over 2 decades. Despite their fame, Charles maintained a relatively private personal life. Their first marriage to actress Harriet Tendler ended in 1965, after which they married actress Jill Ireland. Their bond with Ireland was profound, and when she was diagnosed with breast cancer, Charles stepped away from their career to care for her. In 1989, the Bronsons were devastated by the death of their adopted son Jason from substance abuse, and in the final years of their life, Charles's health deteriorated. They suffered from pneumonia and heart disease, ultimately passing away on August 30th, 2003, at the age of 81. Bronson's death marked the end of an era, but their legacy as one of Hollywood's most iconic figures lives on.